One time could be considered miraculous or a happy accident. 2 times might be written off as a coincidence. But when the 3rd time rolls around, you have to realize there's a pattern at play. In the 65 years since the Hall's founding, no one has ever been enshrined as both a player and a contributor to the game, that is, until tonight. Previously honored twice for a legendary career between the lines, Jerry West is now a 3-time Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinee.
A monumental figure in the history of the NBA, Jerry West was a Hall of Fame player, an Olympic gold medalist, a 14-time All-Star, and a Finals MVP.
Jerry West simply is one of the great players of all time, and he could be the single most effective executive ever in the game.
After moving to the front office, West found a new way to channel his skill and competitive drive. He was the architect of 8 Lakers championship teams, 5 in the Showtime era of the 1980s.
He identified those guys that he thought could play team basketball and winning basketball. He was a master at understanding how to bring in the right guy at the right time.
And he always did a great job as general manager. He always was very passionate about the game. The Lakers wouldn't have been what they were if it wasn't for Jerry West.
And by teaming Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and head coach Phil Jackson, West built the foundation of another Lakers dynasty, which went on to three-peat in the early 2000s.
You know, they talk about Magic and Kareem and Kobe, but he's the real Laker legend.
It was this combination of knowledge and experience that made Jerry West one of the NBA's greatest basketball minds. A recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the only person enshrined in the Hall of Fame 3 times, and the namesake of the NBA's Clutch Player Award, Jerry West was and will continue to be a towering presence in the sport.
My years in the NBA is the ultimate challenge. If you love basketball, that's what the game is all about.
Presenting Jerry West to the Hall of Fame for the 3rd time is a longtime league executive, Rick Welts, and Lakers greats Bob McAdoo, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Pat Riley, Jamal Wilkes, Vlade Divac, Dale Harris, and Michael Cooper. You guys should applaud right there. That's the group. And also representing his late father and speaking on his behalf is Jerry's son, Johnny West.
Wow. If this wasn't going to be difficult enough, you guys sure aren't making this any easier. As you can see, I am flanked by numerous Hall of Famers, players, coaches, executives, giants of the game. They all team with my dad in the chase for championships. In any organization he was a part of, championships were the only target. He detested the thought of the L word and especially hated losing attitudes. All of these luminaries seated on stage tonight understood that obsession very well. The truth is, my dad would have struggled to accept all this recognition. He had a habit of tuning out all the praise and hearing only criticism. But I'm here today to talk about how good he was at his job, whether he likes it or not. Because Jerry Allen West, once an overlooked kid from Little Shillian, West Virginia, is a Hall of Famer for a historic 3rd time. He was inducted into this wonderful hall as a player in 1980, then in 2010 for his contributions to the star-studded 1960 U.S. Olympic team, and now today for his peerless work as a front office executive with the Grizzlies, Warriors, Clippers, and of course, thank you, Clipper Darryl, and of course the Lakers. Yet, this honor also comes in recognition of his incredible influence and staying power in the game. My dad broke in as a Lakers rookie in 1960. He stayed not just relevant, but at the forefront of the NBA for more than 6 decades. This game and this league, it was his life. As hard as he could be on himself, and I'm not sure anyone in any walk of life demanded as much of himself as my dad, Jerry West was beloved by pretty much everyone in basketball, which is quite an achievement in a world where everyone is trying to beat the hell out of each other. That competitive streak, like no other, was a key driver in my dad's front office success. Maybe at times he wanted to win a little bit too much. Tortured genius is a phrase that was written about him many times over the years. One of my dad's closest friends once said of his golf game, Jerry could make a hole-in-one and then complain about how the ball rolled into the hole. That was my dad. But when you speak to people who work closely with him over the years, what they tell you is that he had a unique ability to maintain a level of compassion and connection with his coworkers, on top of his deep desire to win. I recently spoke with Pat Riley, who told me that for all his own incredible accomplishments in the game, I would not be where I am today without that "you can do this, Pat" encouragement from my dad. His door was always open, no matter who you were, and he was determined to create a positive environment no matter what sort of pressure or torment was going on inside of him. Most of all, though, when it came to running a basketball team, he had conviction, he was decisive, and he was never afraid to make a tough decision. In 1989, when everyone in the Lakers' war room was urging him to draft an established college player with their late first-round pick, my dad took in all that input, turned to the speakerphone, and then announced the Lakers will select Vlade Divac. And then, just 7 years later, he only needed a couple looks at a 17-year-old from Philadelphia to decide that he would do anything, including the immediate shipping of Divac to Charlotte, to ensure that the Lakers would acquire the draft rights to a skinny kid out of high school named Kobe Bryant. Sorry, Vlade. Just a few weeks after putting the deal in place to make Kobe a Laker, my dad signed Shaquille O'Neal away from Orlando in free agency. Those two moves, completed in a span of about 3 weeks, I'd argue are the best back-to-back transactions ever consummated by a front office executive, no matter what league or sport you wish to name. But my dad only stayed for the first of the 3 championships that Shaq and Kobe, along with Phil Jackson, would win together. He had to do things on his own terms, like not showing up to his own retirement press conference. And when he decided it was time for a change, as grateful as he was for his long-term partnership with Dr. Jerry Buss, no one was changing his mind. Sometimes even winning wasn't enough. But I can assure you that my dad absolutely loved team building. Going to Memphis, a team with no history of success, hiring Hugh B. Brown as coach, a franchise that never won more than 23 games, in just my dad's second season in charge, became a 50-win team. No matter how many years passed after he stopped playing, my dad never for 1 second stopped contributing to the sport and league that he loved. When we lost him in June, my dad was still working for the Clippers, who called him the personification of basketball excellence. I'm obviously biased, but I think he lived up to that description. on the court and in every capacity which kept him to the hardwood for the entirety of his adult life. Dad, I want to thank you for everything you have done for the game of basketball and for everyone within the game and our family too. That obviously includes me and Ryan, Mom, the other Hall of Famer in our family who kept and David, Mike, and Mark. Yet I'm also thinking of the countless people you have inspired, touched, and helped throughout your unmatched 60-plus years in the game. Role model, mentor, confidant, father figure. You were all those things to so many. Contributor to the game of basketball. That is you in every single sense. And that will live on forever. Thank you.